UFO encounters the Pentagon tried to hide. In 2017, the New York Times published an article that made millions of people take a fresh look at UFOs. The article talked about a secret Pentagon program that studied unidentified flying objects. Real videos from military aircraft were published. U.S. Navy pilots openly talked about encounters with objects that defied explanation. It was a rare moment when government agencies admitted that they were dealing with phenomena that they could not fully understand. But UFOs are only a small part of the story. For decades, governments have launched projects that sounded like science fiction scenarios. Some failed, some were successful, and some still raise more questions than answers. Today, we'll take a look at real declassified projects and technologies that were once considered impossible. Why do governments keep projects secret? Secrecy is not always a sign of conspiracy. More often than not, it is a matter of national security. During the Cold War, the US and the USSR competed in technology. Any leak of information could give the enemy an advantage. The following were kept secret: that new types of weapons, intelligence methods, experimental aircraft, psychological research. Many projects are declassified decades later, when they no longer pose a threat. But when these documents become available, they often seem like science fiction. 1. AATIP, the official study of UFOs. In 2007, the U.S. Department of Defense launched the Advanced Aerospace Threat Identification Program, AATIP. Its goal was to analyze unidentified aerial phenomena that could pose a threat to national security. The program studied video from infrared cameras on fighter jets, radar data, pilot testimonies, object characteristics. In 2017, the program's existence was officially confirmed. Videos known as FLIR, Gimbal, and Go Fast were released. They show objects moving at unusual speeds and trajectories. The military did not claim that these were aliens. They admitted that they could not explain the nature of these objects. 2. The Nimitz Incident, 2004. In November 2004, a U.S. aircraft carrier strike group was conducting exercises off the coast of California. Radars detected objects appearing at an altitude of about 24 kilometers and rapidly falling almost to sea level. Pilots, including Commander David Fravor, observed a tic-tac-shaped object. It had no wings. It produced no exhaust. It left no heat signature characteristic of jet engines. When the pilot attempted to approach, the object instantly accelerated and disappeared. The video, recorded by an infrared camera, was later officially confirmed by the Pentagon. This case is considered one of the most reliable pieces of evidence of UAP, due to a combination of radar data, visual observation, video recording, pilot testimony. 3. Project MK Ultra, Experiments on Consciousness. In the 1950s and 1960s, the CIA conducted a secret program called MK Ultra. The goal was to study methods of mind control. The experiments included the use of psychoactive substances, including LSD, sensory deprivation, hypnosis, psychological pressure. Many of the experiments were conducted without the consent of the participants. In the 1970s, the program was exposed during investigations by the U.S. Congress. The documents showed how far government agencies would go in their search for methods to influence the human mind. 4. The U-2 spy plane, heights inaccessible to enemies. In the 1950s, the U.S. developed the Lockheed U-2 aircraft, capable of flying at altitudes of over 21 kilometers. Imagine a silver plane hanging in the sky, so small against the backdrop of a huge ocean of clouds, and below it, miles of army bases, cities, and ports. At such an altitude, it was out of reach for most air defense systems of the time. When civilian pilots and observers saw it, they often mistook it for a UFO, a small, shiny object in the sky that hovered and moved almost like a bird, but too high to be a normal aircraft. Many reports of unexplained objects in the sky later turned out to be sightings of the U-2. Every video of the object or pilot sighting is a combination of human imagination and real secret technology. 5. SR-71 Blackbird, an aircraft ahead of its time. The SR-71? Blackbird reconnaissance aircraft was developed in the 1960s. It could fly more than 3 times faster than the speed of sound. Imagine the black silhouette of the aircraft, barely visible against the setting sun, flying at breakneck speed over the mountains. Due to friction, the fuselage heated up to hundreds of degrees, turning the metal red-orange. The fuel served as a coolant, and the cockpit was a small capsule in a giant fiery funnel. For its time, it was a technology that seemed impossible. Many sightings of incredibly fast objects in the sky were associated with this aircraft. 6. The Stargate Project, remote viewing. In the 1970s, the US launched the Stargate Project, which investigated human extrasensory abilities. Participants were asked to describe objects and places they had never seen before. Imagine a room filled with monitors, old TVs showing satellite images, and a person in front of them concentrating, trying to see what is hidden hundreds of kilometers away. The program was funded for over 20 years until it was shut down in 1995. Documents showed that no direct practical results were obtained. But the very fact that the government invested in extrasensory perception seems incredible. A short pause. While we analyze these incredible projects, think about how many other technologies remain classified right now. If you are interested in such analyses, like the video and subscribe so you don't miss new stories. And in the comments, write which project you find the most incredible. 7. Stealth technology. Aircraft that disappear. In the 1980s, the US introduced the F-117 Nighthawk aircraft. It had an angular shape, completely different from the usual aerodynamic aircraft. In the evening, against the backdrop of the sunset sky, it looked like a dark silhouette, as if cut out of paper with a knife. Its shape and materials made it virtually invisible to radar. Before its official unveiling, many considered such aircraft to be the stuff of fantasy. Today, stealth technology is used in many countries, but in the 1980s it seemed impossible. 8. Underwater objects and unidentified phenomena. US military reports record unidentified underwater objects. Some of them moved at tremendous speeds, underwater without creating the bubbles that usually form during rapid movement. Imagine a deep-sea compartment with green, murky water through which dark silhouettes fly, leaving only a slight displacement of the water mass. The exact characteristics of such objects are still unknown. Official documents emphasize that the lack of an EEA explanation does not mean extraterrestrial origin, but it is still intriguing. 9. The Internet as a military project. Today, the Internet seems like a normal part of life, but its predecessor, ARPANET, was developed at the request of the US Department of Defense. The idea was to create a resilient network that could continue to function even if part of the infrastructure was destroyed. Imagine massive rooms with copper cables, huge computers, slowly blinking lamps, people in white coats, and officers watching data pass through kilometers of wires. This military technology has turned into a global network, without which it is impossible to imagine the world today. So, declassified documents reveal not a world of alien conspiracies, but a world of constant technological competition, fear and secrecy, experiments that sometimes violate ethics. Some projects sounded like science fiction, some changed our lives forever, and many remain hidden to this day. If you are interested in such topics, subscribe and like. That way, you won't miss new analyses of technologies, myths, and real facts that change our understanding of the world. And now the main question. How many modern, impossible, technologies do you think already exist but remain classified?